Agricultural activity remains strong with good rabi sowing, higher reservoir levels, good soil moisture, favorable winter temperature, and comfortable availability of fertilizers. PMI manufacturing and PMI services remained in expansion at 55.4 and 57.2 respectively in January 23. Turning to the outlook, the expected higher rabi output has improved the prospects of agriculture and rural demand. The sustained rebound in contact-intensive sectors should support urban consumption. Broad-based credit growth, improved capacity utilization, government's thrust on capital expenditure and infrastructure in the union budget recently presented should bolster investment activity. Let me repeat, broad-based credit growth, improving capacity utilization, government's thrust on capital spending and infrastructure should bolster investment activity. According to our surveys, manufacturing, services and infrastructure sector firms are optimistic about the business outlook. On the other hand, protracted geopolitical tensions, tightening global financial conditions, and slowing external demand may continue as downside risks to domestic output. Taking all these factors into consideration, the real GDP growth for 2023-24 is projected at 6.4%. I repeat, the real GDP growth for 2023-24, that's for the next financial year, is projected at 6.4%, with Q1 at 7.8%, Q2 at 6.2%, Q3 at 6%, and Q4 at 5.8%. The risks are evenly balanced. I would now like to turn to inflation. Headline CPI inflation moderated by 105 basis points during November-December 2022 from its level of 6.8% in October 22. So October 22 it was 6.8%, and by end December, going by the December data, there was a moderation of 105 basis points, and that was quite a significant moderation. This was due to a softening in food inflation on the back of sharp deflation in vegetable prices, which more than offset the inflationary pressures from cereals, protein-based food items, and spices. As a result of this earlier than anticipated steeper seasonal decline in vegetable prices, inflation for Q3 22-23 has turned out to be lower than our projections. Core inflation, that is CPI excluding food and fuel, however, remained elevated. Going ahead, the food inflation outlook will be...
Announcements from the RBI governor. I'm going to go straight across to my colleague Karishma for more details on what has been said. Some relief as far as inflation is concerned, or what is it that you find is the biggest takeaway really from these announcements in that sense, Karishma?
Well, right. I think this is a much expected news in terms of the rate hike, but Sneha, what has to be looked into is that this is the lowest quantum high that has been seen in the last few months, because RBI's projection throughout past few months has been on a higher note, with starting off with 50 basis points in the beginning of the year. This 25 was well expected because like the economists have been predicting, and also like the RBI governor has said, that because of lowering of inflation, we have seen that the rate hike could actually take a pause. In fact, two key important numbers that are coming out of RBI governor's briefing is also that government keeps its FY23, that is current year's GDP growth, at 7%, and they've also set a 6.4% expectation for FY24 GDP, that is the next year. This is also close to what, in fact, the Union Budget and Echo Survey had said, which will be between 6 to 6.8%. So, I think green shoots in terms of the announcements that have been made by RBI Governor.
Yes,
investment growth doing well, and government is confident. The RBI governor shows signs of growth in terms of the capex and investments that government has laid down.
Karishma, I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us those details and breaking that down for us as to what these announcements really mean as far as inflation is concerned. Above the target of 4, it's going to be at 6.5 is what has been estimated just now by the RBI governor. That continues to be one of our top focus stories right here. For the moment, it's time for a break. News continues on the other side.
Over 3 decades, Business Today has delivered news, views and analysis like no other. Now, Business Today presents the future.
Could I request Mr. Arun Puri, our Editor-in-Chief, to come up on the stage with the Finance Minister as we unveil the anniversary issue of Business Today. This is the 31st anniversary of India's #1 news magazine.
BT produces a cover with an AI avatar of Pichan on its 31st anniversary issue. Visit businesstoday.in/subscribe and subscribe now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.